You're grabbing a coffee, checking your phone, minding your business, and then you feel it, that tingle on the side of your face. You look up, and there she is, an older woman, confident, composed, attractive in a way that feels different. She holds your gaze for just a moment longer than normal. Not awkward, not shy, just intentional. You look away and your brain immediately starts doing backflips. Was she looking at me? Am I imagining this? Nah, she's older. She's just being polite, right? But then it happens again. She smiles when you walk in. Her energy changes around you. She asks you questions nobody else bothers to ask. She remembers small details from conversations you barely recall. She laughs at your jokes, even the mediocre ones. And in the back of your mind, a thought you almost don't want to admit creeps in. Is she flirting with me? That's where most guys shut down. You tell yourself, she's just friendly. She's out of my league. She probably just sees me as a kid. But what if you're wrong? What if that older coworker who always happens to walk by your desk isn't just bored? What if that neighbor who always stops to chat isn't just being polite? What if that woman at the gym who keeps making eye contact isn't just looking around the room? Here's the reality most men never learn. Older women do like younger men, way more often than you think. But they're not going to throw themselves at you, send obvious flirty texts, or giggle like teenagers. Their interest is subtle, strategic, safe. They'll test the waters with eye contact, warmth, touch, and little invitations that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. And because of that, countless guys walk right past real opportunities with amazing women who already decided they like them. In this video, we're breaking down 5 subtle signs an older woman secretly likes you, and once you understand these signals, you'll never look at those friendly interactions the same way again. Part 1. Why older women are harder to read. If you've ever tried to figure out whether an older woman is interested in you, you've probably run into the same frustrating dilemma. She doesn't behave like younger women. She's not playing games. She's not fishing for validation. And she's definitely not going to act nervous or flustered around you. Instead, she carries herself with confidence, composure, and emotional restraint, traits that can make her attraction incredibly hard to recognize if you're used to obvious social cues. Younger women often express interest with predictable patterns: blushing, nervous laughter, playful teasing, quick replies, dramatic energy shifts. But older women? They've lived through heartbreaks, relationships, marriages, divorces, careers, children, expectations, judgment, and social pressure. They're not interested in throwing subtlety out the window just to see if a man might be into them. Their attraction is filtered through experience. This means they communicate differently. They're not afraid of desire. They're just more strategic with it. Older women have a lot more to consider than impulse and chemistry. They think about boundaries, reputation, emotional safety, social perception, and compatibility. If she's a coworker, she doesn't want drama in the office. If she's a friend of the family, she doesn't want awkwardness in social circles. If she's your neighbor or someone in your gym, she doesn't want tension in spaces she sees regularly. She has more to lose, so she moves with intention. Unlike younger women who might chase or flirt loudly, older women flip the dynamic. They give signals and wait for you to choose whether to step into the space they create. This subtlety isn't insecurity, it's self-respect. She's learned that if a man is truly interested, he'll notice the signs and respond without needing neon signs and exaggerated flirting. And if he doesn't respond, she can withdraw with dignity, without embarrassment or emotional fallout. Another reason older women are tougher to read is that their baseline behavior already includes warmth, curiosity, and social intelligence. She may genuinely be kind, friendly, or confident around everyone, not just you. That makes it harder to distinguish friendliness from attraction because the difference is in the nuance, not the behavior itself. While a younger woman might show interest by seeking attention, an older woman shows interest by giving hers strategically, and only to someone she finds genuinely intriguing. Her attraction isn't driven by neediness or approval. It's driven by compatibility, energy, and curiosity about you as a person. She's not chasing youth. She's drawn to qualities younger men often bring: enthusiasm, ambition, curiosity, vitality, authenticity. And that is why so many men miss the signs. They assume she couldn't possibly be interested because she's older, more established, or more experienced. But the truth is, older women often find younger men refreshing, inspiring, and emotionally easier to connect with, as long as he has the confidence to see the signs. Once you learn how to read those signs, the whole dynamic changes. Part 2, the eye contact that feels intentional. One of the first and most powerful signals an older woman gives when she's attracted to you comes through eye contact. But this isn't the kind of eye contact you associate with someone shy, nervous, or flirty in a loud, obvious way. Older women use eye contact with precision. It's subtle, calm, confident, and above all, deliberate. You might notice she looks your way more often than seems accidental, but what matters isn't just how often she looks at you, it's how she holds the moment. A younger woman might glance quickly then look away, pretending she never noticed you. That's a come chase me tactic. But an older woman, she doesn't hide her gaze. She meets your eyes and holds them just long enough to send a message. Yes, I'm looking at you and I'm comfortable with you knowing it. This kind of eye contact carries intention, not hesitation. It's the difference between curiosity and confidence. She's not fishing for validation, she's assessing connection. She's trying to see how you respond. Do you engage? Do you shy away? Or do you ignore it entirely? The power of this signal is in its restraint. She won't stare or make it awkward. It won't be intense enough to draw attention from others, but it will be unmistakable to you. The moment might be tiny, but it feels meaningful. Like the two of you briefly stepped into a shared space no one else noticed. Another thing to look for is how her expression changes during that eye contact. If she softens her face, smiles slightly, raises her eyebrows, or gives a slow, knowing grin, that's a form of nonverbal approval. It's her way of saying, I see you, not just I see someone standing there. Her timing matters too. Does she look at you the moment you enter a room? Does she check for your reaction when people laugh at your joke? Does she look toward you during a conversation, even if she's speaking to someone else? These aren't coincidences, they're attention cues. And here's where most men fail to realize what's happening. She's watching your reaction to her. Older women test compatibility through presence and energy, not games. She wants to know if you're confident enough to acknowledge the connection without panicking or overcompensating. If you're interested, the best response is to return eye contact with a relaxed expression, not a stare, not intense flirting, just a calm, genuine acknowledgement. A small smile can do more than words in the beginning. It signals that you're open to connection without rushing the moment. If you ignore her gaze entirely, she won't chase you or try harder. She'll simply withdraw. Older women don't push interest where it feels unwelcome. They protect their dignity and they respect yours. Eye contact is her way of opening a door. What you do with it determines whether she keeps opening more. Once you learn to read this subtle language, those brief moments of eye contact stop feeling random and start telling a story. Part 3. Warmth that feels personal, not just polite. One of the most misunderstood signs that an older woman likes you isn't something dramatic. It's the shift in how she behaves specifically around you. Older women tend to be socially skilled, professionally composed, and emotionally regulated. They know how to be polite, kind, and friendly in almost any situation. So when they show warmth, it can be easy to dismiss it as, she's just nice. But there's a difference between universal courtesy and targeted emotional engagement. The key is noticing how her energy changes when you enter the environment. For example, you might see her talking to coworkers with a standard professional tone, neutral, focused, measured. But when she turns to you, suddenly there's a softness in her eyes, a genuine smile, or a lighter energy. Her body language may open up, her posture becomes relaxed, and she gives you a bit more attention than she gives others. It's subtle, not staged. You're not just another person in the room, you're someone she's pleased to be around. This warmth might show up in the way she greets you. Instead of a quick, hey, she might say your name with intention, as if she wants to savor the moment. Instead of maintaining distance, she might lean in slightly or angle her body toward you. When you speak, she listens, not out of politeness, but with curiosity and genuine interest. She'll follow up on things you've said in the past, not because she's being polite, but because she remembers. Older women don't waste emotional energy on casual interactions. If she invests warmth in you repeatedly, it means there's something about you she values. And the key word here is consistency. Anyone can have a moment of friendliness, but if she lights up around you every time you're near, that's not coincidence. It's attraction paired with emotional restraint. Another subtle layer is how she laughs with you. If she laughs more freely or more often with you than with others, that's a sign she feels comfortable letting her guard down. It's not about your jokes being particularly amazing. It's about the connection she feels while interacting with you. Laughter is emotional openness disguised as humor. Pay attention to how she reacts in group settings. Does she glance toward you when something funny happens, as if sharing the moment privately? Does she direct conversation toward you, even if she's addressing others? Does she stay near you physically, even when she has no real reason to? That physical proximity aligned with emotional warmth is intentional. Older women don't linger around people who drain their energy. The most telling sign of all is how she behaves when you're gone. If she shifts back into a more neutral or businesslike demeanor once you're out of the scene, that contrast speaks volumes. The warmth wasn't her default setting, it was activated by you. This kind of behavior may seem simple on the surface, but for an older woman, it's a quiet signal of trust and interest. She's not trying to impress you. She's letting herself be more present with you than she is with others. Part 4. Compliments that show she's been paying attention. One of the most revealing signs that an older woman is attracted to you isn't the presence of compliments, it's the quality of them. Younger women may give quick surface-level compliments like nice haircut or that shirt looks good on you. They're casual, light, and usually meant to be polite rather than meaningful. Older women, on the other hand, compliment with intention. Their compliments tend to be specific, observant, and personal. They don't just comment on what you're wearing. They notice what changes, what improves, and what defines you. Instead of saying, I like your shirt, she might say, you always choose colors that bring out your eyes, or you have such a refined sense of style. There's a subtle difference here. She's not just acknowledging what she sees today, she's connecting it to a pattern she's noticed over time. That means she's been paying attention. This kind of observation tells you three things. She notices details about you that others overlook. She remembers things you've said or done. She's openly expressing appreciation rather than holding back. Older women don't usually waste emotional energy on casual flattery. Their compliments often reflect deeper interest, whether intellectual, physical, or emotional. She might compliment your communication style, the way you think, how disciplined you are, or how confident you've become. These aren't just remarks, they're signs she respects and admires qualities beyond surface attraction. Another big indicator is when she compliments changes in your appearance or growth. For example, your haircut suits you. It makes you look more mature. You've been working out. You look stronger. You seem more sure of yourself lately. Those are not just observations. They're subtle signals of ongoing attention. She's watching your evolution, not just your existence. Pay attention to how she compliments your behavior and character, not just your looks. She might say things like, I love how thoughtful you are. You have a calm confidence that's rare. Not many men listen the way you do. Compliments like these indicate emotional attraction as much as physical interest. There's also another layer. Older women often use compliments to test your comfort level. They want to know if you're receptive to intimacy, or if you'll shut down and get awkward. Your response matters. If you deflect or dismiss the compliment, she might pull back. But if you accept it confidently and reciprocate with authenticity, it opens the door to deeper interaction. And here's a key distinction. Older women rarely compliment every man the same way. If she compliments you in a way she doesn't compliment others, that's a targeted signal. It's not random, it's selective attention disguised as conversation. Finally, don't ignore compliments that reference shared memories or inside jokes. When she brings up things from weeks or months ago, it means she didn't just notice them, she held on to them. That level of memory and appreciation is attraction expressed through emotional intelligence. Compliments from older women aren't loud or dramatic. They're thoughtful, intentional, and deeply telling if you know how to read them. Part 5. The subtle social media signals. In today's world, attraction doesn't just show up in real-world interactions, it shows up digitally. And older women, despite the stereotype, often use social media in ways that are intentional, observant, and strategic. They may not flood your inbox with flirty messages or drop heart-eye emojis on your selfies, but their online engagement can quietly reveal interest. What makes this sign so subtle is that older women use social media differently from younger women. Younger women might post for attention, seek validation, or flirt publicly. Older women don't need an audience. They engage with you because they're specifically interested in you, not in being seen being interested. Their signals online are often consistent, thoughtful, and patterned rather than flashy. For example, she might, like nearly every post you make, even old ones you forgot existed, watch every story you post, but rarely reacts loudly. Comment with questions rather than generic praise. Tag you in articles or reels related to conversations you've had. Message you privately instead of publicly engaging. These actions aren't random engagement. They show intentional presence. She's maintaining a connection without putting you on the spot or drawing attention to the dynamic. Consistency is the real giveaway. Anyone can double tap a random post once in a while, but when an older woman engages with nearly everything you share and does so thoughtfully, it means she's actively paying attention to your life, not just scrolling past it. The timing of her engagement matters too. If she interacts late at night, on weekends, or during relaxed hours, that suggests she's thinking about you during personal time rather than just during convenience or obligation. That means you're not just a passing thought, you're someone she chooses to include in her downtime. Another subtle signal is when she responds to your stories with comments that spark conversation rather than emojis that end it. She might say, "That place looks amazing. How was it? I remember you mentioned wanting to try that. Did you like it? You look like you're really enjoying life lately." These are invitations, not just reactions. She's trying to deepen your connection while giving you the opportunity to lead. Older women also tend to reference previous interactions. If she comments, "Didn't you say you wanted to visit that hiking trail?" It means she's not only watching your posts, she's remembering your conversations offline. That blend of memory and engagement signals emotional investment. Be especially mindful if she moves from passive engagement, likes, views, to private interaction, DMs, voice notes, shared posts. That shift often marks a transition from curiosity to initiative. She's no longer just observing, she's trying to create opportunities for connection in a way that feels safe, respectful, and direct. And here's an important nuance. Older women often keep things discreet. They don't want to invite gossip or misunderstandings, especially if you share social circles or professional spaces. So if she engages privately more than publicly, that can actually be a stronger sign of interest, not a weaker one. Digital affection isn't always obvious, but when it's steady, thoughtful, and personal, it's rarely accidental. Part 6. Touch that feels natural but meaningful. Of all the signals an older woman gives, physical touch is often the most powerful and the most carefully controlled. Unlike younger women who may use touch impulsively or playfully, older women touch with intention. Every gesture has a purpose, even if it appears casual. They've lived long enough to know the emotional weight of physical contact, so if she initiates it, she's not doing it by accident. What makes this sign subtle is that older women are experts at making touch feel natural. They don't jump straight into obvious intimacy. Instead, they test your comfort level slowly, observing how you respond before taking another step. It often begins with socially acceptable touches. A light touch on your forearm while laughing, a brief hand on your shoulder as she walks past, a soft pat on your back during a greeting, a handshake that turns into a two-handed hold. These gestures are small enough to seem harmless, but meaningful enough to gauge your reaction. She's reading you, not just physically, but emotionally. Does your body lean toward her? Do you pull back? Do you freeze? Your response determines whether she continues or retreats. If you reciprocate her presence through body language, warmth, or eye contact, her touch may gradually shift into deeper forms of connection. It might escalate to, hugging you tighter or longer than normal, standing closer when talking, closing personal space, touching your knee or leg while sitting beside you, brushing lint off your shirt or straightening your collar, resting her hand on your back while guiding you through a doorway. These aren't random gestures. They're signals of trust, comfort, and attraction. One thing older women do exceptionally well is maintain plausible deniability. If you don't respond positively, she can easily retreat without embarrassment, framing the touch as friendliness rather than flirting. She protects both her dignity and yours. But here's the key. With an older woman, touch is rarely isolated. It forms part of a pattern. Eye contact, warmth, compliments, attention, proximity, and touch becomes the physical extension of that emotional connection. When all these align, touch isn't just casual, it's intimate. Also notice when she avoids touch. If she keeps distance, folds her arms, or angles her body away, she may like you as a person, but not romantically. Contrast amplifies meaning. A woman who touches many people casually but treats you more gently or intentionally is showing selective affection. Another layer is context. Older women choose touch strategically in environments where it feels safe. She may avoid contact in professional or public settings, but initiate it in private, relaxed moments, like after a long conversation, during a shared activity, or when emotions are present. This shift from public restraint to private warmth speaks volumes. Touch is the final bridge between emotional curiosity and romantic exploration. When she initiates it, she's not just testing your reaction, she's signaling readiness to move from subtle interest to real connection. Part 7. How to respond when you notice the signs. Recognizing the signs is only half the equation. The real turning point comes in how you respond once you do notice them. Older women don't want you to fall to your knees and proclaim your feelings, nor do they want teenage-level flirting. What they're looking for is a confident, grounded response that acknowledges the connection without turning it into a spectacle. The first rule: match her subtlety with intention. If she gives warm eye contact, return it, not with an intense stare, but with relaxed confidence and a small smile. If she compliments you thoughtfully, receive it with appreciation rather than awkward deflection. Older women respect men who can accept admiration gracefully. A simple response like, "Thank you, that means a lot coming from you," shows maturity without overplaying it. Second, move from passive to active engagement. If she's been opening doors, start walking through them. For example, if she mentions a restaurant she wants to try, don't wait weeks. Say, "If you're free one evening, I'd love to take you." She's not looking for you to prove yourself. She's looking for you to participate in the connection she's creating. Third, create opportunities for one-on-one interactions. Older women rarely isolate themselves with someone unless they're comfortable. Suggest something low pressure but personal. Want to grab coffee after work? I'd love to hear more about that. Want to take a walk and talk? If you ever want company at that wine bar, I'm in. The key is offering an opportunity instead of forcing a moment. Fourth, use touch thoughtfully. If she initiates physical contact, reciprocate in a way that mirrors her comfort level. You don't need to escalate aggressively, just allow the connection to grow. For example, if she touches your arm, touch her hand briefly while responding. If she hugs tightly, hold her slightly longer next time. If she leans closer, don't pull away. Let the physical energy build naturally. Older women want partners, not boys seeking permission. Fifth, show emotional presence. When she opens up, shares personal stories, or drops vulnerability, engage deeply. Ask meaningful questions. Offer perspectives. Be present. Older women are drawn to younger men who bring fresh energy, but that interest lasts only if those men bring emotional maturity as well. Sixth, balance confidence with respect. Don't assume her signals mean anything is guaranteed or owed. Confidence becomes attractive only when paired with awareness of her boundaries. If she pulls back or cools down, respond with grace, not pressure. Finally, let the connection unfold instead of rushing it. Older women don't chase fleeting excitement. They pursue relationships that feel stable, exciting, and meaningful. If you respond authentically and consistently, things will progress on their own. The point is simple: she doesn't need you to impress her. She needs you to recognize the connection and have the confidence to respond to it. If you've made it this far, it's because some part of you knows there's more going on beneath the surface. Those shared glances, the warm conversations, the subtle touches, the way she remembers details most people forget. Older women don't make grand displays of attraction. They create quiet openings. They signal interest with grace, confidence, and intention. And they wait to see if you're the kind of man who notices. Now that you understand the signs, the real question isn't, is she interested? The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep dismissing her attention as coincidence? Are you going to pretend she's just being polite? Or are you going to step into the connection that's been there all along? Take what you've learned and apply it. The next time she holds eye contact, hold it back. The next time she drops a subtle hint, respond with intention. The next time she gives warmth just to you, don't ignore it, acknowledge it. You're not just recognizing signs, you're recognizing opportunity. And if you want more content like this, breakdowns on attraction, dating dynamics, emotional intelligence, and how to build real connections that actually last, make sure to let me know. Comment below with your experience. Have you ever felt an older woman was into you? Did you act on it? Or did you miss your chance? Your story might inspire someone else to stop overthinking and start living. Now go make the connection real.